Now let's be clear, Motorstorm Pacific Rift is one of the nice end-of-the-year surprises. And let's also be clear, we didn't see this one coming. This new game for Sony's PS3, Motorstorm is looking for confirmation. Pacific Rift has a mission to correct some errors from the first edition and more importantly boost its content that until now was painfully weak. Now, in order to do this, a change of decor is needed. The circuits are relatively similar to those of the first edition of Motorstorm. The desert is no longer the terrain for these wild races. In reality, there are 4 different environments to break up the monotony of continually racing in Mountain Valley. Developers took their inspiration from nature's 4 elements: water, earth, fire and air. The first in a raft of good ideas introduced by this game. There are 4 universes for this second generation of MPR, which takes you straight away to an island in the Pacific. But there are no surprises, everything is still quite weak, but most of it is decently designed. However, there are a few unattractive distractions. But these 4 distinct universes are not a simple graphic diversity. As a player, you have to incorporate 4 different approaches to the circuits, each with their own unique elements to take into account. Now, we'll come back to this in just a few moments, but to better understand the interest of our 4 elements, we will first talk about the boost bar on the bottom left side of the screen. To win a race, not only do you have to use the boost, but beware, one of the big nuances in this edition of Motorstorm resides in the management of that boost. When you activate the boost, the gauge climbs. If you pass the limits, the vehicle will explode. Therefore, the boost has to be used with prudence, and if, for example, you're near a lava flow, not only will the gauge rise faster, but it won't be able to find its initial level, and you'll no longer have access to your boost, and you will freefall down the standings. This is, of course, the opposite to being near a water puddle or in any wet conditions. The temperature in the turbo drops super quick and allows you to make good use of its add-on power. What at first seems to be nothing more than just a gadget ends up being the game's driving force. This system, coupled with a track that allows for choosing between totally different lines, offers the freedom to select radical tactics. For example, should you make a slightly dangerous detour to cool down the turbo, should you drive through the water, losing some speed and be able to attack with a nicely cooled down turbo, this game is loaded with sensations where brain matter is a much-needed asset to enjoy it at its fullest. And there's no lack of vehicles either, from quads to motorcycles that are as fun as they are dangerous, and now you can even choose a monster truck, which is a very welcome addition to the game. The choice of vehicles is well thought out, but the slightest contact with another vehicle can result in precious seconds lost. There isn't so much realism here. You'll be able to chuckle just a bit when you miss a corner or misjudge an obstacle. Your vehicle loses some 30 metres of distance. And perhaps that is what gives Motorstorm Pacific Rift all its charm. Its capability to punish you, which in turn cranks up the adrenaline to get back in action and drive flat out. Motorstorm Pacific Rift is a hit, and in the video game console wars, this is the first arcade racing game exclusive to the Sony PS3 that is really worth giving a try, because if you like nice surprises, you won't be disappointed.